Hello everyone, we are playing a Sherlock Holmes game today.
Surprise.
For those of you who don't know us, I'm the Spider Cookie. That over there
I'm
is...
StealthyGolem.
Nailed it.
I just started content creation. How are you doing?
Welcome to the YouTube channel that we've been running for like a year now.
I've been walking. So yeah, just kept up the pace.
So, what do you know about this game?
I know a lot. This game, I grew up with this game, so this game is developed by three. We don't know about this game. But this game is called, similar to the previous one, was called The Lost Case Files of Sherlock Holmes, which we played to completion. If you haven't seen that already, then go ahead. What was that?
The Lost Cases of Sherlock Holmes, not case files.
The Lost Cases, so no files.
Yeah.
So we had just cases of things, but no filing done. Okay. The Lost Cases of Sherlock Holmes we played, which was the looking at things that are missing on the screen and stuff like that, which we played and found the super amazing laboratory game. I'm not going to spoil it because it was so good. You just need to watch it for yourself. So that's the thing we did previously. But we already decided that we want to play more Sherlock games. So now, new game. The Case of the Serrated Scalpel. And I believe Spider will be amazing at this. And she told me, like, I will have no trouble playing this game, you said, right?
I don't know about that.
Where did that confidence come from?
Well, either way, I've played plenty of point-and-click games. I have not played this one. And I know how bad point-and-clicks can get, so I'm not going to make any promises.
Okay, I'm good. Yeah, but it's a point-and-click game. It's from 1992, so it's like early at the stage of where the things weren't necessarily that easy yet. And it's not developed by any typical... I mean, it's good that it's not by Sierra, or like... But Lucas Arts could be nice, or anything else, but this is developed by Mythos.
Yeah.
So I'm not familiar with the developer. And so we don't know. We're gonna give it the best we can do without any guides, but if we're totally stuck, we will get some information and help out there. So we'll get through it.
Yes.
Most likely, eventually. So are you ready to get this this case going, this murder, or potentially burglary, or potentially... What are the typical crimes do you like to see in Sherlock?
I mean, a lot of them are murders, so...
A lot of them are murders, that's true. That's a very... Yeah, that's the same thing in Norway. We also have murder as a crime here. So it's very typical.
Yes, murder exists in Norway.
As a crime, yeah.
Yes. As opposed to being legal.
Yeah.
Good.
You good? It was good?
Let's start the game.
This is developed by a circle, a square, and the triangle called Electronic Arts. An old logo of them. It's an interactive story, or a point-and-click adventure. A very complicated interactive story, I guess. This is the shiny streets of London, England, where everything is ice.
Yes. Great ice skating rink.
Why would Big Ben be, like, perfectly reflected on the street? It's probably raining, but that's some good puddle right there.
Yeah, also, like, perspective-wise, it doesn't feel quite right.
No.
So, Lost Files.
I like the Lost Files. In the alley behind the Regency Theatre. I'll do the narration, and if we have to split characters, we'll figure it out.
But we can make it that I'm Watson again and you're Sherlock again, depending on how many lines they have.
True, we'll see. Other than that, we can just do like alternates. Whenever we see a character, we can remember who did the other one. Oh, that's illegal. Smoking is illegal.
I don't think it was illegal back in the 1800s.
It's not illegal here either, I just made a joke. But it's typical for criminals
Yes.
and shaded figures like this to crime and smoke.
Also, she dropped her hat and her handbag in anticipation of getting murdered.
Yeah, you don't want to leave any unsolved mysteries, right? Here's all my things, look at me. Early the following morning on Baker Street.
Oh, this game actually has some amount of voice acting. We'll see how much exactly.
Yes, it did say voices on or off.
Mm-hmm.
So be prepared for a lot of voices to be on or potentially not be that much because it's a 1992 game.
Yeah.
Yes?
Yes.
Begging your pardon, ma'am.
Big text.
This is a note from Mr. Holmes from Inspector Lestrade of Scotland Yard.
Ah.
Oh, very well. I'll see that he gets it. Thank you, Constable.
They sound so excited.
Thank you so much. Yeah. That's fine, though. It's work. There they are, I guess. Yes.
Have you been sufficiently fortified by Mrs. Hudson's murderous copy, Watson, to put your mind to this mystery?
Whatever are you on about, Holmes, so early in the morning?
I'm sorry to interrupt your reading, old man. Mrs. Hudson has just delivered a very intriguing note. Would you care to peruse it?
By all means.
I like how equally sepia tone both of them are.
Yes.
Mr. Holmes, a young woman has been brutally murdered outside the Regency Theatre in Oxford Street. The evidence here suggests that Jack the Ripper has emerged from under this rock in Whitechapel and struck savagely on Mayfair. Despite your contention that the Ripper's work is without motive, and therefore not suited for your methods, I believe you would find this case of interest, and the Yard would be most grateful to hear your opinions. G. Lestrade.
I will not deny his request. Watson, if you would accompany me, I should be glad to have you at my side.
With pleasure, Holmes. Lestrade seems finally to have recognized the value of your investigative techniques.
Early this one is...
Through my blushes, Watson. Your compliment will turn my head. Let us see if I am truly worthy.
Is this a case from the books?
I'm not sure if he ever actually directly mentions Jack the Ripper.
Yeah.
Since that was an actual case, like...
Original story, Eric Lindstrom and Mythos software.
Yeah, so it is an original story.
Yeah.
Yeah, I figured. Yeah, in general, I think they like making new stories for these. And other than that, like, I don't remember seeing any Sherlock Holmes stories, like, of the original ones, that deal with Jack the Ripper. Because, like, it would have probably been very, bad taste to, you know, make an entertaining story about, like, a murderer that's, like, still, like, going around killing women left, right, and center. And never actually got caught.
Yeah,
So.
true. But I guess it also makes sense to make something original in terms of, let's say you're a fan of Sherlock Holmes and then they make it based on a book. And then you kind of know what to solve.
Yeah.
And suddenly that takes the joy out of it. Like, you love Sherlock Holmes stuff, so you buy more stuff, but then, like, yeah, but every case is solved in the thing that I've read, so...
Yeah. To be fair, I don't actually know the overlap for, like, the Jack the Ripper cases and the, like, timeline of Sherlock Holmes being written. So.
Yeah. It's okay. We have discovered our play screen.
Yes.
And it consists of us.
Yes.
Dr. Watson and Desk.
Yes, Desk. Because apparently we're playing as Sherlock. So.
Yes, so Watson is just our happy little penguin here too.
Yes, he's just our sidekick. We've got our violin. We've got our bullet holes in the wall.
Yes.
Not sure what that's supposed to spell out. I think that's an R. Is that a V?
Look like a V, but yeah, this VR, virtual reality. It's a
yes,
video game.
Clearly.
So we're just go, I guess.
Yeah, so... I mean, we'll have to look at so many items.
I'm guessing we have to get to the crime scene.
Well,
but we should pick up stuff we can... Of course, we don't need to get to the crime scene now, but that would be like the... Like a goal and then all the other things we should do. So basically pick up the chair and the sofa.
Well, pick up the desk.
The desk. That's Holmes, though.
Okay.
Desk Holmes.
We're not picking up the violin. Are we picking up the knife? No.
So, it has this interesting thing where it suggests what to do. So whenever you're going around looking at things, it suggests whatever... Oh.
Okay.
This is just gonna be... I wonder if this is gonna be for everything. It's descriptions. Yeah. We don't need to read out everything. It's gonna be description galore for us, so...
But yeah, that's the look option. But there. Yeah, it does work for other items as well. But yeah, it seems like the pickup option does not work for the jackknife. Probably also doesn't work for the chemicals.
Interesting. So we cannot Persian slipper. That could be important. That could be important. It might be cold outside.
Difficult to use the controls of this one. Yeah, nothing interesting. Fine.
Oh, is there? Does it give us a key command to highlight? All right. Okay, so I can like talk to. Okay. So it's the first letter in the word. So P O C I. Ooh, there's inventory.
What are these? Look. Message.
This we can read out.
I think we already heard that one. Yeah.
That's the Lestrade one, yeah.
And business cards.
Several business cards. They read Sherlock Holmes. Oh shit, that's my friend. It's me. It's important to be your own friend.
I actually have business cards that say that.
Yeah, she does. That's cool,
I'm a nerd.
I want to do that too, but I don't meet people, so...
Well, like... I actually got them from the Sherlock Holmes Museum in London.
Oh, you have Sherlock Holmes? I thought you mentioned, like, your other...
Oh, yeah, I also have business cards, but I have Sherlock Holmes gonna, like, business cards.
Savagely out-business me. Like, American Psycho, like, obsessed over business cards. So you actually have a Sherlock Holmes business card yourself?
Yes, 2 of them.
Wow, that's cool. Sorry for interrupting you with your own ego.
But yeah, I'm enough of a nerd that when I was in London, I visited the museum. I also visited some of the film locations for the Sherlock series. So,
yeah, cool. Yeah.
Let's just talk to Watson.
Yeah, let's talk to each other. So I think that not all of this is voiced. Yeah. Oh, we can choose what to say here. What should we go with? You decide to wear your bowler hat for this investigation, or would it begun your journal entries? Or should we insult him with a bowler hat?
You choose.
I will choose yes. Decide to wear your bowler hat for this investigation, Watson. Okay, so we can press and then we can read out stuff. Alright. Let's see if it auto does it or we have to press it.
As always, Holmes, I feel positively underdressed without it.
Or undressed.
Yeah, oh, undressed, yeah, true.
I guess underdressed could also work.
Close enough.
I guess we'll just press space or whatever it is. That just stopped there.
Yeah. So, do we...
I guess the other command.
Yeah, so we do these both.
Yeah. Have you already begun your journal entries, Doctor?
Of course, Holmes. Any case in which you take an interest will certainly interest the world. Okay.
So, yes, that's good to know.
We can look at our chart. Periodic table.
Elements. Ooh, that's stupid.
Edition
What?
1886.
If it's immediately below it are hung measuring paraphernalia. Paraphernalia? Is that how it's
Paraphernalia.
written? Oh, I did not know paraphernalia was written like that. Never have I seen that word written down.
Yeah.
It's probably right, because I don't have any... that's one of those words that you just heard. I've just never seen it like... Look at it. It looks like it's Greek.
Yeah.
Paraphernalia.
Hurling sticks?
And then suddenly you summon a goat. Hurling sticks. Is that some sort of sport? Isn't it?
I'm guessing it is.
Set of 3 hurling sticks. It's a mysterious set of games. Something.
Breakfast? No. Breakfront bookcase. Okay. I'm still having issues reading
British
that
words.
font.
Dude, I'm having issues understanding this.
Yeah, reading the font and understanding what they're talking about. Fireplace is probably not relevant. Okay. Picture. Clock. Yeah, the knife would have been something I would have tried to pick up, but nope.
Yeah, for sure. It seems like we're not allowed to do anything.
Maybe we just leave? So... It is just the first area, so... Could be.
Yeah, maybe we just go back when they have some sort of idea and then we pick up stuff. Come along, Watson. The game's afoot. So, should I will be the one who presses buttons in terms of dialogue, and for you can play it now until you say change, and then we'll change.
We'll figure it out.
That's a fun thing. I haven't seen so many YouTubers, duo YouTubers, do the thing that we do. Like, a lot of people do duo stuff like this, but one has the control, but we're just generally tend to set up stuff like we both have control.
Yeah.
Which we try to always make work. Like, there's no reason, like, there's no big reason why we try to always make it work. We think it's fun.
Yeah.
So
we just like fighting over the mouse.
Yeah, and it's fun to like interject. Like, no, let me see here. So so we were equally playing this in a way.
Yes.
Now we have more people.
We could try and
talk
Ripper
to
S
Jonas. Again. Yeah, we can pick up the child first, though. He's in the way. Wiggins?
Let's try and talk to Wiggins.
5-pixel yo-yo. I'll just choose.
Oh, right.
Do you know who he is?
The orphans. There's at the ready, sir. Tell me what you need and I'll pass it on. There's 8 who's willing to work, so it'll cost 8 bob a day plus the usual reward. If I remember correctly, he has a network of kids just working for him. I can't remember if they're orphans or how it works exactly.
Oh,
but,
yeah.
Yeah. He just has a network of street kids.
I remember. Yeah, for sure. Cool.
So.
I'll be requiring your assistance again, Wiggins.
At your service, Mr. Holmes. You got a job for the irregulars?
Well, no, Wiggins, not just at the moment.
Very good, sir. Let me know when there's anything we can do for you. We can all use the brass.
Yes, the brass. We're gonna be so eloquently educated with our language after this game.
Of course.
Jonas, the new stand-operator. My compliments, Mr. Rigby. The day finds you well, I trust.
Indeed, Mr. Holmes. Business has been brisk. The great British public devours anything to do with the Ripper. While Jack's at work, my family's eating steak and kidney pud.
Kidney pud. I wonder what happens if we press up and down. Whoops. Because,
probably still the same. Can't complain, Mr. Holmes, and if I did, would you listen? Who would listen?
Who would listen?
Who would listen?
Too true. There's so little kindness in the world. Good day to you.
Basically going, yeah, I wouldn't listen.
Yeah, I don't care either. So up and down exit. Okay, that's also a thing. I wonder if we can save. Should we try?
Sure.
We didn't even try to save the game.
let's figure out how to save this game. It's a good start.
Yeah, looks safe so far. Enter description. Our me and Spider's save scheme is 1.
Very intricate.
we do this even on our own streams. It's the best way to remember where you were. I was at 27 when the game broke. That's true. I remember all about that.
Well, I always have issues finding creative names for my saves. And on top of that, it's just easier to keep track of, to have them numbered.
Yeah, like what I usually did before that, which was worse, which is not number them, but just have creatively stupid names for them. And then after a while, you're just like, what's the last save? I have no idea.
Yeah, I think there's maybe not necessarily anything to do on this screen right now.
Yeah, let's just roam.
Yeah.
Ooh.
There we are.
This is like a Gabriel Knight screen.
Alley, Baker Street. It's a lot of room. So we need to go to the alley.
Ooh. Cool design though for 1992. I kind of like it.
Mr. Holmes, Dr. Watson. Very good of you to come so quickly. After you thoroughly examined the scene and the corpus delicti, please share your observations with me. I have never heard that phrase, so just random Latin.
Corpus delicti, I haven't heard. You know, I'll search it up.
Okay. Okay, corpse. I shall look at the corpse. A woman approximately 25 years old has had her jugular vein viciously slashed. This is certainly the cause of death. There are several non-fatal gashes on her abdomen, abrasions on the back of her neck, and scratches on her left ring finger. Distinct odor of particularly cloying and inexpensive brand of perfume pervades the body.
I love this. There's so many funny
They really
words.
dug up their dictionary for this game.
I think it's cool though. Corpus delicti in Western law is the principle that a crime must be proved to have occurred before a person can be convicted of committing that crime.
Okay.
So, for example, a person cannot be tried for larceny unless it can be proven that property has been stolen. So, basically, at least there has to be a case before any suspect can point the finger, right?
Makes sense. So, do you want to read the other
that's me. The abrasions on her neck imply that her attacker forcibly removed some sort of heavy chain or necklace. There are 3 separate lines where a chain scraped her neck, all of which are deep and vivid.
Okay. Handbag?
Handbag. It is a simple silk-lined handbag, sometimes called a reticule. The contents: pocket mirror, a tin of facial powder, a large metal key, a kerchief, and some cashews have been, not cashew nuts, cashews have been dumped out and apparently subjected to a hasty search. Oh, I got us. Don't worry about it, Spider. You keep going.
And there's a hat, there's an iron bar, large burly constable.
Smelling lozenge sucked to mask bad breath.
Okay.
I don't even know how that should look like. So a lozenge will be a shape.
Yeah.
But how does that even, what does it even look like?
You've got more reading to do.
It's like a mint. I think it's a mint.
Yeah.
It's a mint. A slight skin discoloration encircles the ring finger of her left hand and suggests that the victim wore a ring. The scratches result from said ring being wrenched from her finger by the murderer. Oh, he really wanted a ring, did he?
Apparently. So, Yeah, we've got the abrasions, we've got the scratches, knife wounds.
Oh, there's very many details, yeah, on the body. Okay, we just gotta... I wonder the journal. Have we checked the journal yet?
There.
The wounds were clearly made with a short blade, of the size and shape of a scalpel. Close observation reveals that the blade was serrated. There was a trace of a white, powdery residue of unknown nature on the victim's coat immediately beside what appears to be the first of the abdominal wounds.
So, journal, sure.
Yeah.
There.
Let's just read it then.
So that's just Watson's journal.
Oh, it's Watson's journal.
Yeah.
Okay, we can decide if you want to read it. Or not. Is it much? Oh, let's not read that for now.
I mean,
it's just basically a logbook of what already has happened.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so it's basically going through things if we need it.
Yeah. Oh, what's this?
Ooh, yeah, he smoked a cigarette. Right? That's true. Cigarette butts.
Cigarettes, but yeah, cigarette butts. Okay, let's look at those.
Good find. Behind one corner of the crate are a half-dozen cigarette ends, recently crushed into the dirt. The brand is common and smoked by thousands of Londoners. The smoker was a man wearing heavy shoes or work boots, given the length of the butts. His fingers are most certainly stained by nicotine. So we got ourselves a heavy smoke, so we've got nicotine fingers. I hate that smell, by the way. The people that smoke like way too much. Not necessarily, but there's... Oh, nice, we can pick it up. Sweet. The people that just live in a apartment that is just smoked, like overly smoked in, and that has a specific odor on all of their clothes and them. That smell. Yeah. I don't really have too much against smokers in general. Like, I can get used to it, it's not the worst thing, but that... in prisons... ages of smoke. That's horrible.
Didn't you also used to smoke?
I used to smoke. That's also why it's like okay to deal with. Like I can get behind it. But you definitely like. I definitely have worn off the getting used to it stuff because now I really feel it. In the summer, sometimes my lower my apartment underneath can smoke in the balcony, and I scent that, and that really like, oh, that puts me off immediately. I gotta close the window.
Yeah.
So I used to be okay with that, but no, not anymore. I guess that's good though.
Yeah, I mean.
But yeah.
For me, I've never smoked myself, so I've just always really hated the smell.
Oh yeah. The substance was most probably on the murder weapon at the time of the attack. A thorough chemical analysis would most likely reveal its composition. So pick that up.
Yeah, pick up the knife wounds.
Pick up the knife wounds. What is like? How am I supposed to write this down, Sherlock? Is this okay? Should I just scratch this off the journal? Is this like off the record? Is that what I've called?
But yeah, I think that's the only part of like the corpse things that we can look up. Like,
what do you think so far about how pixely we have to look?
It's not that bad.
Are you scared? It's not that bad? Okay.
It's not that bad. Piece of paper.
Batch of piece of paper. We need to look at it. We didn't really check
inventory. Theater playbill.
Dated for 2 nights ago. On the back is a message which appears to have been hastily scrawled S. Meet outside the stage show after the show. Important news B. So if they're using initials, it's already shady business, right?
Yeah, so they know each other.
They know. Oh, barrels. What do you think is inside the barrels? You think would be no.
Storage area.
Yeah.
This got stage props from this season's plays. So. Seems they're just their trash bins. Let's look at the iron bar.
Oh, for sure. 2-foot section of the iron pipe. Both ends are corroded by rust. Trace of red paint. on one end. Who's this cop wanting to beat up, by the way? He keeps on, like, he's batting. He's like, please. Of course, now he stopped doing it because I mentioned it.
Handbag.
It's a simple silk-lined handbag, sometimes called a reticule. Oh, we've read this already.
Yeah, okay.
The
Pocket
caches.
mirror. Yeah, right.
And we couldn't pick up the handbag. I guess it's like...
There.
Examine anything
Please
you
examine
like, but
anything I shall need that handbag and its contents as evidence.
Exactly.
Okay.
So not pick up, but...
Open.
Look open, yeah.
How be opened?
I guess we already looked at it, so yeah, that's it.
So,
can move Lestrade. If we move Lestrade out of view, we can pick up handbag.
Yes. Maybe we can pick up the hat. Let's look at the hat first.
Yeah, I asked about looking at the hat earlier.
Yeah,
Good.
What's his analysis of the hat?
A lady's very stylish hat, fashioned in fine crimson silk.
Yeah, figured.
Also known as red hat.
Yes.
in the Western American game.
Okay.
Yeah, same thing.
He didn't need the cigarette butts as evidence, just the hat. And
Oh, that's true.
Yep.
It's like, if we're good enough to look at details, Lestrade...
Yeah.
I guess we're kind of like, we want to work on our own terms. We don't necessarily want Lestrade to have anything, right? So, if Lestrade can't see it, then we...
Yeah,
a
we
large,
should probably talk to
burly
him.
constable. And this was before they were like too much into each other, in terms... Not into each other.
Yeah.
Too
Too familiar with each other.
This is how you prove it might work with Lestrade.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Is there anything you can tell me that isn't obvious from the scene, Inspector?
The deceased was an actress here at the theatre, name of Sarah Caraway. She lived by herself in Bayswater. According to our only witness, there's a sister, whereabouts presently unknown. The witness found the body but remembers nothing of the person she saw fleeing the scene. You may talk to her if you like, though she's a bit in the way of being hysterical at the moment. She's in the victim's dressing room, through that door and up the stairs. But before you go, I'd like you to confirm some theories of my own.
Oh, somebody thinks they know shit. Have you already decided an explanation for the crime, Inspector?
There's no doubt that this is the Ripper's doing. The fact that we are miles away from his habitual haunts in Whitechapel is absolutely no significance. If he'd left his calling card, it would be no clearer. The man is a monster. Okay.
Oh, we have options, Spider.
Yes. So, can't
Agreeing
agree
with
with
them?
you.
Seem very sure of it for number 2. There's evidence that contradicts. We don't have enough to contradict anything, do we?
Reluctant to speculate, I think.
Yeah, that makes sense. Or the first one, it's also like agree and
I mean,
kind of give
if we want to be, if we want to be authentic, then we're already basically like sure what happened. Because Sherlock sure has quite the ego and goes, I've seen part of the crime scene. I now know everything.
Yeah, in terms of that regard. I was the cocky one would be the first one, right?
Yeah.
Just
why even bother questioning anyone?
Yeah. I'm afraid I cannot give myself the pleasure of agreeing with you, Inspector. And being a man of scientific temperament, I doubt whether Dr. Watson would concur with your theory.
Without hearing the results of the medical examiner's investigation, I would not even presume to have a theory. Quite right, Doctor. Mr. Holmes and I, perhaps, overstep ourselves, though I'm certain that the official inquest will prove me correct. Okay.
I guess we're gonna keep talking then.
Yeah, I guess so.
Reluctant to speculate about such a serious crime before all the facts are in my possession.
Mr. Holmes, as usual, it's difficult to pin you down, but I see you have divined no more from the scene than I. If you do come to any conclusions, I'd be happy to consider them.
You seem very sure of the facts, Lestrade. I believe that there is evidence that contradicts your interpretation.
I assure you, I've examined everything in great detail, Mr. Holmes. I seriously doubt that I've missed a significant clue. What have you seen that goes against my theory?
Okay, I suspect you noticed the victim's jewelry is missing. What do you make of that? Or Kidder's choice of weapon is most telling, don't you think? I mean, the absence of a perfume bottle in her purse is a vital clue, wouldn't you agree? It's vital. It was weird that, the jewelry is gone. But I don't know, nothing of this seems like...
Well, as far as I know...
Perfume bottle.
As far as I know, none of these are Jack the Ripper's MO.
Oh, in that regard.
Yeah.
So what would you think would be the most one?
So, I don't think he generally stole jewelry. I'm no expert on the matter, so... But I don't think he stole jewelry.
I'll just do that one then. Suspect you noticed that the victim's jewelry is missing. What do you make of that?
I presume you're referring to the abrasions on her neck and hand. As you well know, the Ripper takes selected items of jewelry, from his victims. This photo supports my case, Holmes. I believe that if my theory were flawed, you would be the man to set me straight. But it looks like you have nothing material to add. Oh, fine.
Nothing material.
Material
nothing
as
material to add.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Clever. Words are really funny sometimes.
Yes.
I guess we're just gonna go through these ones. We haven't, for now, it seems like, gameplay so far, it seems like we can just keep asking stuff and just get clues.
Yeah.
It seems like more of the game that we're just trying to understand more and more, so whatever options we have is basically just like as much as we can gather, so we're just gonna go through them for now.
I mean, there's a chance that we'll have to, actually do the solving of the crime. So, it is possible that the game won't just, present you the solution, but just go, who did it? At the end.
Yeah. So this feels more like we're asking all these questions and doesn't necessarily have to do with, how the intrigue changes that regard, but it's just, we need to remember, take notes and whatever. And this goes in the journal, possibly. Kidder's choice of weapon is most telling, don't you think?
Indeed, my professional eye tells me that this woman was killed by a surgeon's scalpel, and we know the Ripper uses a scalpel with the skill of a medical man. Isn't that so, Dr. Watson? From what I've read, Inspector, the answer is yes. But I would not presume to commit myself before the autopsy is completed. I must say that if a scalpel was used, it was a dull one. The wounds appear a bit ragged. Well, that's as may be. I'm certain that the medical examiner will confirm my observation that a surgeon's scalpel was the instrument of death. Mr. Holmes?
Oh, sorry. Wait.
Up. Nope.
Up.
Down. Nope. Nope. Whatever.
Oh, wait. I fell asleep.
We don't know what happened.
I fell asleep on my
Mr.
keyboard.
Holmes, something.
What is the purpose of...
Just
oh,
Mr.
yeah,
Holmes.
this is just going up and down than this thing, Scratch that. Let's go for perfume. So, since I don't care about what you said, the absence of a perfume bottle in a purse is a vital clue, wouldn't you agree?
A large bottle of the scent she's wearing sits on the vanity in the victim's dressing room. Powerful smell, isn't it? But the absence of the bottle is no mystery.
Talk about getting as much clues as possible, and here I am just skipping dialogue.
It's fine, it happens.
If you look close at the victim's coat and at the wounds, you may notice that the fatal blade had a serrated edge. Age?
Dr. Watson? Can one find a serrated scalpel in a physician's blank bag? Why does it need to be black? I regret, Inspector, that I know of no such instrument in the hands of any medical man. Yeah, like, serrated edge would cause more damage. That's unusual. I suspect it is insignificant. I never said the Ripper was a doctor. Perhaps his other scalpel lost its razor edge. He's done enough foul work with it. Heaven knows. Let's not confuse the investigation with trivialities, gentlemen.
Keep going.
Perhaps the murder was imitating the style of Jack the Ripper. The gutter press has been filled with lurid accounts of the fiend's disgusting exploits. Perhaps.
We can change in the middle of if you want to. If we want to have more, it's fine.
I'll just have a monologue. Perhaps won't feed the bulldog, Doctor. I need facts, Mr. Holmes. My hypothesis is that the Ripper is responsible for this brutal murder, because there may be a bit of confusion surrounding the serrated blade. I will concentrate my efforts on the question of the murder weapon, but it would not be adverse to you and Dr. Watson looking further into this entire matter, if you wish. You may speak with a witness in the victim's dressing room, and you may want to examine the victim's flat at 21 Praed Street.
Praed Street. What we can do also for the dialogue stuff, if we're both, I mean, we're on the keyboards, we can just press when we know we're talking.
Yes.
The person that's talking takes over pressing the keys.
Sure.
That way we can float comfortably. Instead of us timing each other like we're doing some relay race.
Well, just try not to double click too much.
Sorry. This happens so many times when I'm also playing games, other games. I just, for some reason, when my heavy hands just like...
When I said we, I meant we. I also have the same issue, so...
Yeah. Just constantly fall asleep.
Can we talk to the constable?
But we weren't really done talking, were we? Or did they go for everything?
I thought we did. Because you just said we could go to the flat.
Is everything here exactly as you found it? I'll be him since you did enough. You go take a cigarette break. Office been moved since I arrived, Mr. Holmes. I rang up the inspector and he was most particular in his instructions. Touch nothing, he says. So I've been standing here like a lump. Sounds like a good lump. A large, lumpy constable, maybe. Do you have any information that would assist our investigation, Constable? No, Mr. Holmes, I'm sorry, but what if fending off the newspaper gent and half the nosy buggers in London? I've been preoccupied, as you might say. So it doesn't have any specific things. Watson.
Give me a moment if you would, Holmes. I need to make a few notes for my journal.
That's you.
That's it.
That's you, so now you press.
There.
Oh, that's it. Okay. Maybe Sherlock wants to say, like, right on, Mr. Watson.
Yes.
It's Dr. Watson to you. But yeah, the whole black physician's bag might just be a reference to, like, if there was a... It's black because that was basically what they always used or something.
Yeah, it just seems weird that, like, they wouldn't be able to get a custom color for their bag.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I meant.
It's like, probably... Yeah, it's probably just like the typical...
Just
oh,
like,
he brought in the black physician's bag. You know what that means?
Yeah.
So, that kind of thing, yeah.
Yeah, I get that. I'm just saying, like... Why have that standardized? It's not even a color you'll easily find.
True.
So, like,
yeah, true. I guess it's just more the common folk thing.
Yeah.
Just, like, making chats. And this is this is smartly written, the game. So they would pick up anything that could be smartly like, oh.
Yeah. Maybe we can open the crate. We're walking up to it.
Oh. I like how they're both, like, Watson and Sherlock's idle pose is just like...
Yes.
They look so proud of themselves.
Like they've got a backpack or something.
Yeah, you're like very happy ready.
Yeah.
The theater's costume mistress apparently dumps fabric remnants and spoiled work into this crate. The contents appear undisturbed.
I'm guessing we don't want to pick them up.
Nothing of interest, so no.
Yeah.
Can we flaunt with the hats? You're like,
I'm guessing we don't
take
want
a
to pick
selfie.
stuff up from the barrels, no? So I think we just head inside.
So far, it's like giving us a hot spot of things to do. But
You must be Mr. Holmes and Dr. Watson. I'm Henry Caruthers, the stage manager.
However,
Inspector Lestrade told me you might want to look about the place. Feel free. I'm afraid we can't be of much help. Poor Sarah. There. Is that the girl who witnessed the incident?
look at the guy touching Sherlock's butt. Well, no. On the
Yes.
idle thing, whenever I mention it, it's...
Her name is Sheila Parker. She was in a dreadful state earlier. Fainted dead away. As you can see, she's still very upset. I doubt she'll be able to answer any questions just yet.
Sheila would like to ask some questions.
Yes. We were just told that you can't answer any right now, but...
Miss Parker, I'm sorry to trouble you. Do you think you can bring yourself to describe what you saw?
I saw Sarah lying there. It's all so horrible. I can't bear to think about it. She seems near hysterical, Holmes, and rightly so. I doubt she'll be of much help in her current condition. Okay.
Again, miss. I'll ask you one more time.
I mean, we can try again. Nope.
Miss Parker, I'm so sorry to trouble you, but could you please stop crying? I don't like crying. It affects my mood.
What is he doing to the door, though?
Yeah, the thing is...
He looks like
is
he's
that
tapping it with a key. It's like, why?
I don't
Is it
even know, but it
a
looks so
tuning
funny
fork?
because Sherlock was just standing in front
Yeah.
of the door, and
Fine.
then like he looks like we're slapping him on the ass.
If you'd like to question Miss Parker before we leave, I have a sedative.
Oh yes, let's
Ah.
use a sedative, Mr. Watson. Now things have changed.
So let's...
Also, the flower is very, very... Oh, under the cupboard. Look at that blinking thing.
Yeah, spring. Peek up the spring. Well spotted. And also the
the cupboard
perfume ball.
falls over. Oh, I literally picked up his hand away for it. He was very feminine. Like,
Let's look at the spring.
It's a steel spring attached to a small square mass of solid brass.
Neat.
It makes anything sounds nice.
And the perfume ball.
The perfume is called Eau de Seine. The label lists the address of the perfumery as Bell's Perfumery in Westminster. There's a ribbon around the bottle as if it were a gift.
Okay. Can we pick it up? Yes.
Not a gift anymore.
Now it's ours. And there's a handwritten card.
She's dead. Finders keepers.
Maybe he was looking for a new
Note-
perfume anyway.
Yes, a very good one. Look, a dead person's perfume. Or it was hers, maybe. Oh. The note reads, Dear Sarah, what's in a name? A rose by any other name would smell as sweet. A secret admirer. The misquote from Romeo and Juliet is strangely the product of a feminine right hand, with the unusual habit of dotting eyes with tiny hearts. Aww. Did you do that once in your time?
Not really. Like, at
Yeah,
some
just
point,
for fun sometimes.
at some point I did it on purpose, but
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
generally no.
Yeah, just for fun for me. Pick up the
Yeah.
flowers.
It was very,
Give it to
very rare
Watson.
for me to ever do that. But you do that?
Give flowers to Watson. No, I just for me, just like for gags.
We did pick up the
But it was-
flower.
He did.
Yeah.
Why did you do that?
He just took one flower.
Why did he take a flower?
I don't know.
Why did you do that, Sherlock? A pink carnation with dark veins in the petals. Why would you...
Why not? He likes flowers.
Of all jackknife and things at home that are like potentially nice in investigation, I'll take this little petal. This is nice. Open. Ooh, wardrobes. Done. Mess up clothes.
Can't really see anything in there. Chest of drawers. Let's open that too. Locked. Well, we could try and talk to that guy. Ask him if he's actually waving a key around or not.
What are you doing with that key, Henry? What's the problem with you? What are you doing? What's the problem with that door, Mr. Carruthers? Which is to say, what are you doing? Yeah, well, I guess he was as much cluing in on as we.
The plate is broken. I'm attempting to repair it, but I'm afraid it's quite beyond me. I'll probably have to hire a locksmith to do the work.
Also interesting thing is that the first dialogue is timed. The first thing after we ask a question, that's normally timed. But every other one has to be pressed. So as I ask this one, who forced this door, we don't need to click anything and it'll time itself.
Inspector Lestrade thinks it was the Ripper. He says that the Ripper broke in here and dragged Sarah out into the alleyway to murder her. Do you think that's what happened, Mr. Holmes?
We saw that didn't happen. The inspector has many fine qualities, but he is overly fond of theatrics. It's clear that the murder did not attack Miss Carraway here in this room. It'll go automatically.
Eventually. What is your evidence for that, Mr. Holmes?
Because I'm so afraid that I'll press it, or you'll press it once, and then we'll skip the next one immediately. Oh, yeah. Location of the woman's hat? Not necessarily.
Well, the location of the woman's hat does check out, though. Because it's a hat that you put on when you go outside. And if he attacked her in here, she wouldn't have been wearing the hat yet, most likely.
Yeah, and those other two things doesn't sound like good reasons at all.
Yeah.
So... the location of the women's hut.
Exactly what I thought, Mr. Holmes. She wouldn't have had her hat unless she was going out the back door. That means the Ripper must have broken in during the performance and then went back outside to wait for her. Can't see that anything is missing, though.
Do you know of anyone who might have harbored a grudge towards Miss Carraway? A rival or a jilted lover, perhaps? An obsessive admirer?
Certainly not. Can't imagine why anyone would want to harm her. She wasn't the greatest actress, but she was popular in a way, and sweet. Though, now that you mention it, there was a young fellow who was asking... It sometimes doesn't really respond that well. Asking about her a short time back. He seemed rather suspicious. But yeah, sometimes it doesn't really respond. What was suspicious about him? I found him hanging about in the alley. He asked if Sarah worked here. I offered to take the message, but he refused to leave his name or his reason for calling. He was just a lad, no more than 17, but bright-eyed and very single-minded. He didn't want to see Sarah so much as he wanted her address. Well, that's not unsettling at all. Did you give it to him?
Of course.
What do you take me for, sir? I don't go handing my girls over to any dimwit who just happens by, thank you. My refusal didn't seem to bother him at all, though. He just smiled and thanked me for my time. Pretty as you please. Then he said, if I changed my mind, he'd make it worth my while that I could leave a message for him at the Moon Gate, whatever that means.
Mysterious. I've pressed just a random key on the keyboard. That seems to skip dialogue. So maybe that works better than the mouse.
Okay.
Have you recalled any details that might assist my investigation?
I think I've told you everything I know. Yep, does indeed work better. So,
what is
sedative.
Sedative. Watson? This woman's distress appears to be genuine, Watson. As a professional observer, would you say her behavior is that of a person who has suffered a terrible shock?
She is certainly within what I would call the credible emotional range of such a person. I believe her response to be authentic, though the woman is an actress. And you yourself, Holmes, have fooled me countless times with your own sham performances.
But really, Watson, we need that sedative.
Yes.
I'm just going to keep talking, though.
Sure.
What does this room tell you of the victim?
The portraits of actors from the past suggest that she was comfortable and happy in her profession. Judging by the flowers and the perfume, I'd say she was more liked than despised. Let's pop again.
Yeah, shame it quits every time they finish it.
Yes.
Watson, have you espied, I don't know, any new
Spied,
details?
I guess.
Has a blinding revelation struck your brain?
I regret to admit, Holmes, that I am more confused now than when we arrived.
Okay. Espy, catch sight of.
Yeah.
We're getting so smart. We should play this all over again. So is this now... It's actually still here.
Yeah.
So this doesn't get removed like the other ones got. So this might get again later on.
Exactly. But we need the sedative.
We need the sedative. I know. Watson, do you have anything that might calm Miss Parker? We might as well have the benefit of her testimony, meager though Lestrade claims it to be.
Okay. Yes, Holmes. I'm carrying a potent sedative. A small dose should do the trick.
They just started doing shit so automatically. It's good.
Thank you, sir. I feel better, but much like I'm swimming underwater. I think I can answer your questions now, if my tongue will obey my brain.
Miss Parker, do you now think you might tell us what you saw of this terrible murder?
I saw Sarah lying there dead. Blood was everywhere, but especially by her head. I could see her insides. A man in a cloak was running off into the street, but I didn't get no good look at him. I didn't see no more than that, sir. Honest. I just ran in here and I fainted, I guess. Next thing I know, Mr. Carrotster, I already forgot how...
Mr. Carrot, just call him Carrot.
Mr. Carrot, was waving his coat in my face.
Oh, did it skip at the end there, actually? Did you press?
I didn't press that time, no.
Okay, so then there might still be some, like...
yeah, they're just longer
automatic
segments,
thing.
I think.
Maybe we should check if we can turn that off so we have more control of that.
Yeah.
Do you know any of her friends or relatives?
No, sir, not personally. I didn't even know Sarah very well. But about a week ago, Sarah got this pendant. Big ugly thing it was, too. She said it was from her sister. I believe her name was Anna or Hannah, but I don't know where she lives.
Do you know his secret admirer, the person who gave her these flowers?
No, and neither did Sarah. She never was one to appreciate gifts from strangers. She so liked these that she decided to keep them. Just tonight, she told me I could throw them out if I had a mind to. Now the inspector has told me to touch nothing until he completes his investigation. How am I supposed to get dressed?
Yeah, that is true.
Okay. I mean, I hope that they'll, like, not
let her live.
Like, just giving her some time to recover from this.
Yeah,
the only reason she could talk to us is because she's now sedated with a very heavy sedative.
When you put it like that, it's kind of sad. Like, this is a crime, and we should allow them any sort of time to grieve or whatever. But we're just like in here. Don't touch anything. Don't get dressed. Do not leave. Here's a sedative. Psh, come on, talk to us. Tell us everything. This is very rough. Yeah, it's not easy being a victim or like a victim or like what is it called? An observer of crime.
Witness. That's the word.
A witness, thank you. This perfume was a gift, wasn't it? Do you know who gave it to her?
She said it was from her special friend, but I know nothing about him. He called her here from time to time, but she was very secretive, always making sure everyone was away before she brought him up. As far as I know, he's the only man to see the inside of this room other than Mr. Carrister. I have no idea why she didn't want to show him off. And did we have more options? Yes.
Yes, we have many, many, many. Found this playbill in the alleyway. Does this note written on the back mean anything to you?
Let me see it. I wondered where that had got to. My fiancé came in all the way from Golders Green that night. He couldn't wait to tell me he had found a flat for us. We're to be married early in the new year. I'll be leaving the theatre, and none too soon by the looks of it.
Do you know anyone who could be responsible for this brutal attack?
Didn't know anyone on Earth could do such a thing as what was done to her. Now I know there's monsters in the world for certain. But I can't believe they are friends of mine, or Sarah's for that matter.
What was your relationship to Miss Carraway?
I was her understudy. We're performing the play The Lovers of Hattie Hill, and Sarah has the lead. I play Beth, the servant girl, but I understudy the lead in case... I can't bear to think about it.
More drugs! Can you direct me to anyone who might help me learn more about Miss Carraway?
No, sir, I'm sorry. Like I said, I didn't know her very well. She was very protective of her personal life.
Alright. Seems to be it for
guessing
her.
We didn't get any... No.
Yeah. We have finally investigated her. Let's give her just an extra sedative before we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we should probably...
yeah.
We've investigated a little bit. We should call it an episode for now.
Yes. But it's an interesting mystery so far.
Yeah, I mean, I'm intrigued. I think it's fun that we can, like, sort of... both of us take the journey of discovering this one. Mystery is always fun, at least when both of us are from the same... Like, we don't know.
And to me, it doesn't feel like as much of a point until, like, yet. It's not gotten to the point of, like, combine everything with everything. So now it's... Now it's more, like, close to an actual, like, Sherlock Holmes case. Where, like, of course you need to pick stuff up, you need to look at things, you need to, like, ask people stuff. Like, at this point it doesn't really feel that, like, typical yet.
It's not, it seems to be more just listening to dialogue and just potentially at the end making sure you got all the evidence as things looked at so you can present the case to combine it into one piece.
And actually also putting the pieces together yourself, like the hat being outside, meaning that odds are she got ready to go outside. She wasn't attacked before then. So.
And an interesting thing as well that could be that there's these very like traditional, very good written like board game versions of Sherlock Holmes and just a lot of cases. And basically that's just like just read out the case and then the group just you can go different places in like London or whatever. And that kind of reminds me of this setup where basically like, okay, we go there. Then we ask these people about everything all along. So this is kind of like that gamified, but we're locked in like we could only go in this place, only like the. But eventually we might just have to like, okay, we have to think about. We found the cigarette butt, and who sells cigarettes over here, and then we can go to the cigarette store and then ask about who buys these on the regular. Have you seen anybody with like very encrusted, smoked and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
So things like that. It seems that that could go this direction.
But yeah, I like it so far.
Yeah, me too. Good game.
Yes.
And thank you for watching.
Yes.
This is Sherlock. This is what.
I'll just hold my invisible backpack straps.
I do like that whenever they do stuff, like they still like. They're not gonna like put their hands forward and like. They'll do one thing with one hand and then go immediately back to posture.
I think they're holding like their coat.
Yes, they used to do this. Like, I know I've seen a lot of that, but they just like they do it very, very clearly because they always like they go normal and then like immediately posture.
Yes,
because it tends to be a resting pose sometimes, not always. But here it's like, no, that's just our constant resting pose. Is up with the hands.
He's probably they're both just so awkward about what to do with their hands while they're standing. They've just got these specific resting pose that they always default to.
This is what happens when you have two super socially anxious people talk to each other and they find the solution of what to do in their life. This is the best way. You just put your hands up like this and then you always have something to do with your hands.
Yes.
And they're like,
Anyways, thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching.
And we'll see how the case is going to progress next time.
Don't forget, and don't forget to stab your padlock with as many stabs and hits as possible to fix it.
Yeah, just use random keys on your lock. Maybe one is gonna fit.
Be rough and give drugs to people who are crying. That's it for me. Bye.
Bye.
I didn't mean that.